Good morning, guys. So this entire week was a little hard week to trade, right? Some of you guys call the Tesla trades, congrats. Some of you guys caught the Amazon to the downside, congrats. And now for this week, and I have some comments written here as you guys can read. We gave these comments to you guys starting last week, and since Monday, I haven't taken them out, and I hope it makes sense why sometimes we make certain comments beforehand, because there's a possibility that we may see something, and we were absolutely right. So for the last 5 days now, our closing price on the SPY has been lower than the opening price, right? And today's the sixth day. Do we close higher than the opening price today? Let's see. Or do we give the gains again? The spot gamma report that usually I'll be post, sometimes I post it too. The implied move today that we're looking at the S&P is only 1%. So that's about $4.60 based on SPY. So which way do we go, right? I mean, let's see. I think we're just going to be patient for the first half an hour, 1 hour, and we may have some scalps today. Let's see if we do. I know he's ready for some. He told me last night, and I myself will join him today on the scalpers day because this week I was quiet myself. I didn't trade much. Well, on SPY, 460 is a level that I really wanted to hold, whether it's today, next week, or the week after. If we do break 460, then we do have all the way towards 454, right? And if we take out 468, if we happen to take out 468 today, there's a good chance that we might even close at 470 today, like near all-time highs. Basically, it's a very good chance, and that on the weekly will give us a candle like this, something like this, which is usually a reversal or topping candle, right? So keep that in mind. Tech, similar action, same thing. Let's see what we get in the market. So the chart technicals are the similars, same thing, and they're actually moving very identical. So the same goes for Qs as well. Either we dip today or rip, or do we hold just sideways, and then next week we get some news or something, and what happens? And we do have the OPEX next week, so we will see some increased volatility next week, right? And some stocks that I want to cover today were BKKT, Bucket Holdings. Not the stock that I follow, but they did have earnings. Pre-market, they're down. The thing with them is their revenues went up, but along with their revenues, their expenses also went up by a lot, and then their losses have also gone up by a lot, right? And but it's a very volatile stock. The options are very expensive. The reason being is because they went from $12 or $8 in one day straight to 46 bucks in a few days, right? So the IV has increased a lot. And if you're trying to play this chop, I see in the group that some of you guys might try to catch this. Just be careful. Even if this stock goes up or down $2 next week, your options might be lower, right? Because that big move is not happening, right? So if it goes into this chop zone, you're just going to lose on your options. Just keep that in mind. One chart that I'll compare with this is something like PLTR. They're different companies, but I'm just saying in general. See how we had this whole little spike, this entire spike, and then it just went to a chop zone. They just killed premium every day on people that are buying it. So when playing stocks like this, just be careful, right? And the GNJ splitting into two companies, consumer staples and pharmaceuticals. Right now, pre-market, they're up. They broke this base, right? They broke out of this base. The question is, do we hold above this base, right? 168. But I think in the coming days and coming weeks, this is one stock which is gonna set up for us, and that's something that I would like to play. So J&J, I do have on my watch list because on the weekly, if I see it, this might give us a chance above the 50-day moving average and a nice little uptrend to the upside. All right, because right now it was making a bear flag on the weekly. I think it's gonna break to the upside, and then we might get a chance to the upside if Dow is strong. JD and Baba, they absolutely smashed their records. In total, JD and Baba had $139 billion in sales on singles day. 139 billion. That's insane. That's a huge number. I don't think any other company does this in the world except JD and Baba on the singles day, right? Not even Amazon. So $190 billion in sales. That's a big number, right? And on Monday, we do have a meeting between China and the US. There's a virtual meeting on Monday. And I think that's what, if we do get some great comments from there, the stock might move. On the weekly, JD looks ready. It wants to run. And I would pick JD over Baba or any other stock. T and I were looking at this. The reason being is because JD was the one stock that actually did not dump on all these news. It held its base. It did not go down in a downtrend. It was sideways in a nice little base, right? So that was the positive thing about JD. And next week, if we hold JD above 85, I think 90 and 100 will come fast if China shows some strength. So JD is going to do an AMD type move when AMD was in the 80s and it just went to 100, 110. So that's the type of move that can come on JD above 85 next week. But again, The Monday meeting, if we do have some positive comments, that, or today, if we continue holding above 85, that will show strength. I might even buy leaps on this, right? There's a good possibility. I think T and I both might jump into some Chinese leaps. He's also been looking at some names, and so we'll alert if we do. But JD, keep an eye on it. Baba, on the other hand, is making a base in the very low. See how the a nice little downtrend from many months, but JD held near here, right? So Baba also, we do need 180. Until 180, there's nothing on it. Remember that 172 and 180. We get through 172. 180 comes likely, and if we get 180, that will put some investors' confidence, and then 220 we have a confirmation. All right, but above 180, I will definitely love to buy some more Baba short term, right? Because we have a higher chance of good returns there. And we had some SNDL news yesterday. They announced a share repurchase program. And when a buyback comes in from a stock like this, that's very bullish for the stock itself and maybe for some stocks in its sector. So they announced a $100 million buyback. The board approved it, which they're going to do. And the company only does buyback when they think that our stock might be worth more in the future and they want to invest in their own company. There's nothing more bullish than that. And SNDL, it is up about 34% pre-market. Right, if we can just continue this and hold above $1, we might even get a squeeze on this name. So, Gumball Profits, if you're listening, or people that play equities, SNDL, keep your watch on it. Even if you catch a 5-10 cent move on equity on SNDL, that's 5-10%. On equity, that's huge, right? So, not the first 5 minutes. First, I want to see how it settles here, and then maybe if we do get some flagging pattern near 90 cents or $1 in the coming days, I might play this to the upside. And there's a good possibility this even goes to $40, $50 today itself, because it's a penny stock and it will move really fast. Tilray, T and I were talking about this yesterday. Boogie was here. We were looking at the $12 calls. They were going for 15 cents, and I said, you know what, man, if Tilray is flagging on the daily, and there's a good chance that it might close near the weekly highs. I did not buy those options because I had the leaps, but it was something that I was looking at. I'm like, well, you know what, it's flagging, and there's a good chance that today we get the high of the week, and in fact it's higher pre-market, and $12 options were trading at 0.15, I believe, 0.15, and it's already up 300% at the open, right? So that's so sorry, I apologize to the entire group. This is something I really wanted to buy. I did alert in the group, so I made a comment, so I don't know if anybody picked it up, but this was a play that I really wanted to get yesterday. But anyways, so Paul stocks are up. Tilray, keep an eye on it. If you're in Tilray, is holding above that 50-day moving average finally, continuously, is very bullish, right? And if we get through $13.40 is the one level that we need to get above past, guys. 13.40 is a very important number. And then we have 14, and then above 14, we have all the way towards 16, and then God knows, maybe 20 if we have some news come up next week or next month. All right, but a very strong base above $10, which is very bullish for Tilray in the coming months. All right, so Tilray, keep an eye on it. CGC, if you're playing, same thing. I am in Tilray, so I won't play this. CGC needs above 1473, so it's still stuck in a little chop zone, but CGC above this level it needs basically, right here, 1470, 1473-ish. And if you guys have any chart requests, just send them in, I'll go over them. So Kritik, we have Tesla. Tesla, guys, this was a toppy. It was a very clear toppy action it gave us, right? I wanted to do bear spreads, and I should have done it here. This was a very clear toppy action they gave us, about $1,200, right? But it was just holding too well, so I didn't do it, right? And then we would have kept all the premium, and it would have made us a lot of money. But here in this chop is very hard playing Tesla, right? If it takes a yesterday's low of day, you can try playing it to the downside, but then today they can also make a reversal candle, right? Playing a stock in this chop is very difficult, so I'm going to avoid Tesla because the premiums are really expensive. I would just be gambling my money away. Unless I see some crazy setups from T or Goldman Sachs, because they're really good with scalps, I may follow them, right, with a tight stop loss. But other than that, I don't see much, except I do know one thing, 1070 is a magnet level. There's a reason for it, right? Maybe we'll go over in the next time in the session, because when Tesla was breaking out, 1070 was the number that kept hitting up and down, and it needed to break out, and then from 1070 it finally took off towards 1200. All right, that's the reason 1070 was a magnet number for me. All right, that's where buyers and sellers were deciding should it go higher or lower, and we're right back into the same zone. All right, and I see Tesla chopping between 1170 and 950ish for the next few weeks. All right, it might flag out. So Tesla right now is still holding very strong. If we take out yesterday's high of day, that's strength. We probably visit the high of Wednesday and Tuesday, and then we see. And if we take out yesterday's low, then we have all the way towards 1,020-ish on Tesla. And then we have Amazon, of course. Amazon, again, can this also close near the high of the week? It's still possible, right? It's not that I'm biased or I'm bullish on Amazon, but it's just technicals I'm talking about. There's a very good chance that we might even close above 35.80 today. And there's a very good chance that we might go test all the way towards 50 MA. Right, so I don't know which way it's going to go. I am not going to play any weeklies. If I see some hourly reversal, some technical setup for a lotto around 12:30, 1 o'clock, and the premiums are cheap, I will alert, and maybe we'll try catching a 100, 200% move, a fast move on Amazon, which on Fridays, it always gives us an opportunity to do so. However, if we take out yesterday's opening price, which is 35.13, if we trade above 35.13 today, I think we see higher. And do read Goldman Sachs comments on SPX Futures channel in our premium Discord on Amazon. He's made some comments. Usually he's on point because he manages the micro levels as well, right? So that's my analysis on Amazon, but I will not rush to buy Amazon here until a certain confirmation, right? We can still see all the way towards 33.50, 34.50 and below. All right, keep downside in mind. The options are really expensive. McDonald's, amazing uptrend. Oh wow, we didn't see this candle on 5th November. This was a short right here. When a stock goes up like this, guys, it just runs a huge move and it gives us this candle right here. This is a very highly likely short-term candle that the stock's going to dip, right? So if something like this, I think we would have seen, definitely would have bought puts. McDonald's, I think, is testing, is broke out the base, right? So on a longer time frame, going back, higher highs, right? A little dip here, a quick recovery, so this is voided, right? And now we might have a higher high here, or higher low, sorry, and then we have higher highs here. This is usually very bullish for the stock. Now, if this is back testing, so if I just remove this drawings, I'm gonna draw something here for you guys. We pretty much broke out of this base right here, okay? We broke out of this base, broke out twice, retested, broke out big. It's retesting the levels here. If it takes out the 253 level one more time, if it takes out the 253 level, if it takes out 253, we have all-time highs coming, in my opinion, on McDonald's. All right, from 253, you can simply catch that uptrend to 255 and 256 and so on. Support is all the way here at 244 if it does not take out 253. All right, keep that in mind, which is also happens to be the 50-day moving average. And then Pfizer, guys, gave this entire Pfizer move to you guys day by day. I was already in my thing, right? And the reason it gapped up that day and then huge wick and then it held, right? This showed a lot of strength in the stock. When on the earnings dip, they bought the stock up, and then on the news, they bought the stock back right up, right? So that was a signal on its own. And then I am simply looking at the monthly here on Pfizer, not in the daily. This monthly breakout is very strong. This confirms this is going to be a multi-month uptrend. If it continues holding here this month, we're probably going to get 60 very fast. Right, I'm already scaling out a little by little. My next scale up point I'm looking at is 55. Hopefully we get that next week or the week after. Maybe I'm wrong. I know it's a big move on Pfizer, but when the monthly is in play, these big moves happen, and if you catch them, that's when the high returns happen. Right? I called it up over 100% now. I'm scaling out slowly. Okay. So Pfizer, as long as we continue holding today and it closes the high, that's one of the biggest, highest close ever. I think in the last 22 years. Right. So that's 22 years in the making, guys. And when Microsoft broke out of such a base, I'm just going to show you guys some of the possibilities on Pfizer. When Microsoft broke out of the monthly chart, it just went parabolic. I'm not saying the same thing's going to happen to Pfizer, but even if you catch this little move on Pfizer and something like this happens technically, right, you can make a lot of money on it, right? And I'm personally just going to continue rolling up on Pfizer until we get a confirmation to the downside, right? Keep buying time. So Pfizer is in a similar trend right here, right? This is similar on Pfizer, and who knows, after 5 years you might be like, how is Pfizer at 150, right? It's just a possibility that I'm giving you, which is very possible. All right, so keep an eye on Pfizer long term. Even 2023 leaps, I would probably scale it a little, right? Neo City raised price target on them to $87. I was reading this morning to 87, right? City on the monthly, Neo does look good. Electric vehicles, as we know, have a lot of strength these days. And how high do we go? Does a monthly take out August highs? If the monthly can take out August highs, then we have all the way towards 52 and 60 in play, above 50. And August highs are $47, right? So if we take out 47, the next number that we have is all the way towards 53. That's a $6 move, But does it happen? Let's see. And we do have earnings coming up on it in 2-3 months, so it's wild. And are new earnings out? I did not follow Neo, but I don't know if their earnings are out. Boogie, can you check if Neo earnings are coming out? Does anybody know? Okay, I think their earnings came out. Yeah. Yep, their earnings came out. They came out. So guys, on Neo on short term, I'll just give you a number right here. Then their earnings are out. If we take out of this base right here, so which happens? So 47 on Neo, guys. Yep. Above 47, we have higher on Neo. Above 47. And then Uber, I had spreads for this week. They're zero. I had 47 and 50. Right, I'm usually transparent about my positions. They're gonna expire at zero for me. It didn't work out, which is fine. But Uber also needs above 47, 48 hold. So Uber, a lot of you guys I know like trading Uber, needs to get through 46 and hold 47. Cat I bought at the start of the week on the infrastructure bill. I went in very small. My entry was right here, and as soon as I got in, I think they just had a nice little downtrend. But they did give us an option to break even, but I didn't take it. And that, for me, if Cat does not make a big move, will also expire at zero trade. So 2 big losing trades for me this week. Other than that, guys, just manage your accounts. Go, be careful. The title says it all. Patience will win. Right? We're not in a casino here that you're gonna nail 100, 500% trades every day. Sometimes you just gotta protect your gains, sit back, relax, and let the chart set up. Today, if we see some scalps, we'll go in. But today, depending on today's action, might even signal more weakness into next week into OPEX, right? And maybe Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday we're weak, and then Thursday, Friday we have a reversal to the upside. Who knows, right? So just keep in mind for these things. Harman, I'll go over Facebook for you as well. Facebook broke out of this falling wedge type of pattern, right? And now the only thing is, we have the metaverse news that came. But if the market is weak, Facebook will see much lower. It's just trying to hold above the 200-day moving day average. It's in the chop zone. But to play Facebook, the clear number right here, I can give you a clear number here. Above 344, Harman. If Facebook holds above 344, which is going to be very hard, you can catch this move towards 350 plus. That's a $6 trade. If it holds above 344, you can catch it to 350 plus. If it doesn't, on the bigger time frames, I'll show you something else also. On the weekly time frames, if it fails the 50-day moving day average, we have all the way towards 290, 280. And trust me, if the market weakens, this 290, 280 will happen pretty fast. All right, it's possible on Facebook. It's happened in the past. It might happen again. All right. Sometimes when Facebook doesn't move, it does not move for many years. All right. We have experience with this. So Facebook, I will just simply wait until 300 and 344 is taken out. Right. Other than that, T, anything else that you have on your mind?
No, not really. Let's just see what the market gives us.
So not much, guys. Let's see what the market gives us, he said. Semis also made a nice little topping pattern here. Be careful. Personally, I'll repeat one more time, going in very small, just holding leaps and managing my positions. I'm not adding anything new yet. If I see some scalps, I may do. But this is the market where you just want to protect your gains and let this phase pass and then catch the next leg. Right, smart ones will win in this market. Patience will win. That's all I can say. And if you're playing, go in with small sizes. There's really no direction right now. We're at the top. Do we break down or do we consolidate and go higher? For that, we need to let the chart set up. With this, we'll finish the pre-market and we'll see you guys back in the chat.